welcome back. The Vortex members didn't travel to Florida for spring break. On All-American Season 5 Episode 17, they had plenty to do even after school let out. Let's start there since football is frequently a focal point of this series. Despite Bountygate's undisclosed NCAA fines still looming over the program, Coach Kenny, Spencer, and Jordan's recruitment efforts helped the GAU team fill some holes and feel good about themselves. That obviously couldn't stand since the school president, an irate white male, interfered with the optional spring break practices. Despite Bountygate's undisclosed NCAA fines still looming over the program, Coach Kenny, Spencer, and Jordan's recruitment efforts helped the GAU team fill some holes and feel good about themselves. That obviously couldn't stand since the school president, an irate white male, interfered with the optional spring break practices. When he was the outstanding player being recruited, Spencer had last seen Dr. Gutenberg, who he immediately knew. Sadly, Gutenberg wasn't around to support this determined group. Instead, he and the anonymous boosters were concerned that GAU had changed from a top Division I program to Last Chance U. Gutenberg was sold a false hope by the discredited Coach Garrett that GAU could compete with Alabama and Ohio State. Moreover, Bountygate had caused the best prospects he lusted after to leave GAU in dread of the impending NCAA sanctions. Gutenberg had to lower the threshold and be more optimistic about the team's near-term prospects. However, Marco Galvez, one of those five-star recruits who had competed, had a different opinion of his squad after a few days at GAU, whereas Gutenberg was dissatisfied with his team. Sal, who was skeptical about the outcome of his revived collegiate football career, continued working at his day job and planned a training session with Marco for spring break. Spencer accepted Sal's invitation to join them and learned that Marco wasn't a big fan of Spencer's top option, Clearwater State. The Florida-based university wanted to use Marco, their gay football hero, as the focal point of a socially conscious public service effort in order to disprove the existence of All-American. All Marco wanted to do was play football. Even though he had a lot going on in his life, Spencer made time to give advice to Marco because he had just found himself in Marco's situation. He demonstrated to Marco how to write down his story in case he ever lost who he was. Marco was also invited to take part in the unauthorized GAU training sessions. And then Marco found himself enjoying football once more. Naturally, Marco then made the unusual decision to switch his commitment from Clearwater State to GAU, startling Spencer, but delighting Gutenberg and the boosters. When Grace considered changing his old bedroom into her craft room, Spencer wasn't acting very maturely at the time and became all pouty. He clearly overreacted, but she ought to have warned him. He isn't living in squalor at the beach mansion, after all. Season 5, Episode 8 of All-American, Visiting for Roast. About halfway into the endeavor, Grace had second thoughts. However, Spencer grew wiser and gave the craft room his blessing after learning that wherever Grace is, he is also there. Liv's Sports Journalism Awards ceremony was the other major event of the episode, and it had an impact on practically everyone who was even remotely related to her. Olivia has been quite worked up after Billy's passing, which is not surprising. It increased the pressure on her because the Bountygate story was their final project together. Spencer wasn't acting so responsibly before, pouting when Grace considered turning his old bedroom into a bathroom. When Laura was expelled for trying to assist Olivia with her graduation speech, she begged Jordan to use his Wonder Twins gift on Liv. All-American, Season 5, Episode 9, Busy Laura. Jordan's suggestion to get Olivia lost in the dance was a good one. That was successful up until the hip-hop instructor repeated a proverb Billy frequently used, which caused Liv to flee. Liv could finally unwind and begin to appreciate the event once Jordan pushed her to speak honestly. Spencer was mainly ignoring important details now as a result of Dr. Spears' advice not to be so controlled, such as the fact that Olivia's ceremony is taking place on the same night as his date with Alicia. Even worse, Grace and Denise were talking about the situation when Alicia overheard them, and they mistakenly believed Spencer was taking Alicia. All-American, Season 5, Episode 9, Secret Slips. Because Liv was instrumental in Alicia giving Spencer another chance during his time of loss, she told Spencer they were coming to Olivia's nuptials. Yes, it was quite predictable for Olivia to win and expose her true identity. But in her awards speech, she did at last pay tribute to Billy, which was an important development. At Keating for Monica Records, there was a lot of activity as well. After a while, an overworked Layla wised up and stopped being overly protective, allowing JP to assist her with some of his considerable knowledge. All-American Season 5 Episode 1, making her move. Patience also voiced her misgivings regarding her career's new course. She couldn't pretend to be Patience 2.0 since it wasn't who she was. When that interviewer gushed about her new, phony identity, that was the final straw. She confided her worries to Sky, and Sky had the wonderful idea to record an acoustic version of her recent tunes. When Patience saw Layla trying to leave, Layla agreed to take the acoustic set on tour. Don't you think Patience 2.0's fans, who spent a lot of money on tickets, would adore that? Sky kissed Patience despite the warnings, which was unfortunate and was likely seen on camera by Patience's stalker. It can't be good for her job to kiss her ex's new girlfriend, can it? In order to track the progress of gal football, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more videos.